ARBI, the Association for the Rehabilitation of the Brain Injured, has been providing long-term intensive rehabilitation for survivors of the most severe brain injuries for the last 32 years. The not-for-profit organization helps their clients achieve their goals by creating personalized rehab programs to meet their needs. In 2002, ARBI began accepting stroke clients. Currently, 50% of the facility's clients are stroke survivors.
A stroke happens for one of two reasons. Either there's a clot in one of the blood vessels in the brain, or one of those blood vessels bursts open. When that happens, the brain cells or neurons around that area die off. And because they die off, these brain cells control function of things like your ability to see, or your ability to speak, or move, or sense, or think even.
When a stroke occurs, there are 5 important warning signs to recognize: sudden loss of strength, trouble speaking, vision problems, the sudden onset of a severe headache, and dizziness or loss of balance.
Commonly, we're seeing people in their 6th and 7th decade having strokes, but those are usually ones of the ischemic kind. In Calgary, we do have a number of younger strokes now in the age range of 20 to 50 coming through, and I think that's in part related to the particular demographics of Calgary, and it's a younger city.
With stroke, there are risk factors that can and cannot be controlled. Age, gender, family history, ethnicity, and history of stroke are uncontrollable. Controllable risk factors include high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity, physical inactivity, smoking, and stress.
In neurorehabilitation, there's different techniques out there, right? And a few years ago was a new technology came up called the SABLE. And we'd like to incorporate that technology into our program. And to be able to do that, we decided to organize a research project to try this new technique with a small group of clients.
The clients involved in this project range from 2 to 5 years post-stroke. Generally, the majority of improvement for stroke survivors is seen closer to the time of the stroke. As time goes on, progress slows. However, research demonstrates that gains can occur many years following a stroke. With practice and rehabilitation, uninjured parts of the brain can take over some of the lost functions. Arun has been with ARBI since December 2008. He comes to the facility 5 days a week to work on his rehabilitation program. A grandfather of 2, Arun was a retired mechanical engineer who enjoyed photography, playing cricket, and a member of Toastmasters.
I had a wonderful life before stroke, yeah. I was told by a doctor that there are a lot of thin wall in my vein. That's all he said. And I could think myself, what does that mean? I understood it is kind of risk involved in my life. Yeah, but I didn't concentrate on that. I kept on living as I do.
Arun started to lose the feeling in his left foot one afternoon. Not thinking much of it, Arun decided to wait until the next morning before going to the hospital, where he was told he had suffered a hemorrhagic stroke. This was a devastating diagnosis for this once active man.
I accepted whatever happened. It was much easier for me to go through the process. That's a part of life, and that's the way it is, and I accepted that. I always tried to push myself to get better, constant. I don't think I ever stopped.
On the day when ambulance came to pick me up, my neighbor here, he chased the ambulance all the way to the hospital to make sure it's me, because he said God must have dialed the wrong number. He says you shouldn't have a stroke.
One evening, Tulsi collapsed as he was sitting on the edge of his bed. Tulsi's wife, Rama, acted quickly by calling 911. Once at the hospital, Rama was informed by the doctors that Tulsi had suffered a stroke. It was quite severe, and they couldn't be certain he was going to make it through the night.
We were all devastated. We never thought, Daddy been so active, it could happen to him, something like that, that he's just stuck in one place.
Well, I felt pretty sorry for myself because I didn't think I would have to use the wheelchair for too long. I had confidence in myself that I'll be started walking again soon. But it doesn't happen that fast, unfortunately.
Johnny made his living running an auto body shop and worked hard to ensure his customers were happy. In 2005, he was married with 2 children when he experienced his first stroke. He suffered subsequent mini-strokes throughout the following year. These strokes have affected the left side of his body and his ability to speak.
One of his goals is to improve his speech. Another one is to improve his walking pattern as well. That's a big one. He wants to hopefully be able to walk without the use of his cane. Another one of his goals that's interesting too, he wants to perhaps get into the kitchen a little bit more, maybe do some meal preparation, something along those lines.
Are you a big cook?
Yeah.
Did you used to cook a lot before your stroke?
Yeah.
What kind of food were you cooking?
All kind.
What was life like before you had a stroke? What kind of lifestyle did you have?
A good one.
A good one? What sort of activities were you interested in?
Volleyball. Swimming.
How has your life changed since you've had the stroke?
Can't do nothing. Well,
What are your goals?
to get better. My left arm and left leg.
Traditional rehabilitation for stroke survivors to regain the use of their arm and hand includes activities involving both arms and weight-bearing exercises through the extended arms. SableFlex is an innovative tool that can incorporate the hand for grasp and release activities. SableFlex is based on the principle of neuroplasticity, and its mechanical design enables clients to use their affected hand and arm.
The SableFlex is a wrist-hand-finger orthosis that allows the patients to, in essence, grasp and release. The spring system on the device reopens the fingers so functional, repetitive grasping can occur. These products are non-electrical, they're purely mechanical. What happens is the Sabo products are similar to a cane or a crutch. You're going to need it initially so you can support the weakened limb. As you do function and as you help improve your upper limb and potentially reorganize the brain, you're no longer going to need the device like you would no longer need a crutch or a cane.